Okay, guys, so I want to introduce you to a tool that should be really powerful for what you're doing. I just want to do a really quick intro to Canva, canva.com. It's a free tool. They do have a paid version, but I have worked for more than 3 years on this, and I just bumped up to the paid version for some very agency specific reasons. I think you can do most of the things that you need to do on the free version of this. It's an amazing tool. You go to canva.com and you can connect it with your Facebook page and log in that way. And once you're inside, it stores all of your designs, and it's kind of a design social network. If you've ever tried to do any graphic design work on behalf of your brand before and maybe lost hours to Adobe Illustrator or InDesign, and it just those tools, while they're very powerful for day-to-day small graphic needs, can just be totally overwhelming, this is a godsend. Here within Canva, you can choose the type of design that you want to create. And what's nice is that here you've got Twitter posts, social media, general posts, Pinterest, Instagram, and all of these designs are ready for you and sized to the appropriate dimensions, because if you've been doing social media for any length of time, you know that these measurements for the various areas change from time to time based on the newest offerings of the social networks. And so the nice thing about this is you don't have to know what those dimensions are. Canva's going to go ahead and already size your images to the right size. You just need to make the appropriate selection here. They have everything from book covers to ads, invitations, flyers, everything. So go through here and find something that you want to work with. Let's say we want to start with a Pinterest graphic. You just click on what you want to start with, and on the left-hand side, it's going to give you some layouts that you can use to start with, or you can totally work from scratch. I almost always start with one of their layouts, and by the time it's done, you can't even tell it was ever there because I've done so much to it. But I think that for me, that's a part of my process that really works. So if you want to change the text for something, you just literally click on it and type new text, whatever you want it to say here. On the drop down, you have a lot of the universal fonts that you'll see that Google offers for websites available here that you can choose from, and they're adding new ones all the time. One of my favorites is Quicksand, so I'm going to change to that. Nice, modern, clean text, which I love. They have these graphics here that you can start with and adjust as needed. If you want to change the size of them, you can do that, and they're still going to stay crisp and clear. If I want to change this from a green building to an orange building, it's literally as easy as a click of a button. A nice thing you can also do is if you have specific brand colors that you prefer and hues for your personal branding of your company that you want to use, you can type in the color code here and make the graphic totally customized. They have over 1 million images in here that you can search, including stock photos, many of which are free. You can see these gorgeous stock images are free, some are $1. And then you've got icons and charts and all these elements that you can use to build out graphics. And they're constantly being updated by the seasons as well. I'm going to show you really quick one of my favorite things here, which is the photo frames, which can give you an opportunity to throw a photo in there and know that it's not going to be distorted or in any way kind of that it would suffer for having been added to your design. Here we can throw a photo into an iPhone and have it look as though our website or whatever the images that we're looking to lay in is showing on a cell phone. I have some images uploaded already that I have used on recent projects, and I will just throw a picture of my kids on there because they're uber cute. And there it already fit the image there. It's nice and again crisp and clear. You can double click it and adjust how the image is cropping. When you're done, click the check mark, and you can add filters as though this was Instagram, kind of a lot of all of those filters and special effects that you might use if you were posting one of these photos to Instagram. You can apply those same settings here and then get even more detailed and have some really custom effects that you create. Once you have created an image and you're happy with the way it looks, you click download, and you can choose to use the image for web. This usually will look nice and crisp and clear on social media. A higher quality image if you're using it for something where you might need a large image and you don't want it to be pixelated. Here it says PDF standard. This is usually going to be a lower file size for if you're going to be emailing it, or a PDF for print, which would be higher quality for the printing process. If you've created multiple graphics here, which you can do, then you can choose to export just certain pages here in this area, and if you're sending it to a printer, you may want to add the crop marks and bleed. I'm not certain, I believe this is a premium feature, but if creating the PNG graphics that have the transparent background are important, if that feature is important for you, then you may need the premium version, and you can do that through Canva. Once you're done, you can add, you could make your graphic public and add it to their community area where you can go for inspiration, or you can publish it as a template for yourself that you can come back to and use over and over and over again. I'm going to spare everybody and not make that public since it was just a test graphic for demo purposes. Another thing that's really cool is that if you want to share a graphic with somebody else and have them work on it with you, you just click on share, make sure you check that box, and then you can send them this link or an email through here, and they can have access to work on it with you, which I just think is wonderful. Another really cool thing that Canva does is that they have this Learn to Design area where you can take some really simple lessons, and they will teach you about how to use fonts, what are the best images to use, how you compare colors. This is really great stuff if you're not a natural designer or you're struggling in any way with the designs that you're creating. So again, check this out when you have time, because you may get lost making graphics for everything, as most people do, and use Canva and show me what you come up with. Remember, it's going to be really critical that whatever your brand colors are, that you try to stick with those, and your brand fonts, so that you're creating something that's cohesive and powerful. You don't want to throw a ton of new colors in there. You should have some colors set for your brand, some fonts that you use on a regular basis, maybe a primary font and a secondary font, maybe even a tertiary font, but those are the only ones that you use. And try and find a good match for those here in Canva that you can use on a regular basis. Thanks and best of luck.